Hey everyone, we're here to talk about something super cool, H3O2 BioWater, and how it can totally change the game for people with diabetes. Our big idea is that simple things can make a huge difference. We think the best thing you can do for your health might just be to change the water you drink. We'll show you how our biophotonic charger and BioWater are key to this. Let's jump in and see why this is so important. So we just talked about how simple changes can be powerful. But why do we even need new solutions? Well, we're facing a massive problem, the diabetes epidemic. It's not just a number, it's a huge challenge affecting millions of lives, and it's getting worse fast. Right now, 589 million adults have diabetes, and that number could jump to 853 million by 2050. This isn't just about blood sugar. Diabetes messes with your whole body, damaging organs. Regular treatments are important, but they aren't stopping this wave. We really need fresh ideas, and we need them now. So what if something as basic as water could be a big part of the answer? We just saw how big the diabetes problem is. Now let's look at something super important that most people miss: water. Dehydration secretly makes blood sugar go crazy, especially for people with diabetes. Think of it like this. If you boil water out of maple sap, you get thick syrup. When you're dehydrated, your blood gets thick like that syrup, and your blood sugar spikes even if you haven't eaten anything. The CDC even says dehydration causes blood sugar spikes, and studies show even a little dehydration can raise your blood glucose a lot. It's a bad cycle. High blood sugar makes you dehydrated, and then your cells don't listen to insulin as well. This is a huge piece of the puzzle that regular medicine often overlooks. But what if there's a special kind of water that can break this cycle? We've been talking about how important water is, and how regular water isn't always enough. This brings us to an amazing discovery: H3O2 BioWater, where science meets nature in a cool way. For ages, we only knew about three types of water: ice, liquid, and steam. But in 2013, Dr. Gerald Pollack found a fourth kind, a super-organized liquid called exclusion zone, or EZ water, which is H3O2. This isn't just normal water, it's like a tiny honeycomb structure that forms next to certain surfaces. The coolest part? It has a negative electrical charge, acting like a tiny battery for your body, and it even pushes out toxins. This isn't some weird idea, it's real science with huge potential for our health. So how does this special water actually power our cells? We just learned about the amazing H3O2 BioWater. Now let's see how this fourth phase of water does its magic inside your cells. Get this: 99 out of every 100 molecules in your body are water molecules. Dr. Pollack says it's crazy to ignore that much of your body. EZ water actually wraps around every protein and important molecule in your cells, filling up to 70% of the space in a healthy cell. This structured water isn't just sitting there, it's actively storing energy, sending signals, and making your body's reactions happen. The energy to build this EZ water comes from light, especially near-infrared light, which is like a tiny battery inside each cell. And here's another cool thing. Your mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, help make this EZ water. So healthy mitochondria help make EZ water, and EZ water helps your mitochondria work better. In diabetes, mitochondria often struggle, which might explain why diabetic cells are always thirsty at a tiny level. This changes everything we thought about water and health. We just talked about how EZ water powers our cells. But what happens when that system goes haywire in diabetes? Diabetic cells get stuck in a dehydration spiral that medication alone can't fix. High blood sugar makes your kidneys work overtime, flushing out sugar and taking a lot of water with it. This leads to cellular dehydration, and those shrunken cells can't respond to insulin properly. It's a vicious cycle. High blood sugar causes dehydration, which then makes insulin resistance worse, driving blood sugar even higher. Conventional treatments often miss this basic cellular hydration problem. This is where H3O2 BioWater steps in, offering a unique way to help. Next, we'll uncover another hidden enemy in diabetes: oxidative stress. Beyond dehydration, uncontrolled blood sugar unleashes a hidden enemy: oxidative stress. This is like a constant attack on your cells, accelerating every diabetic complication. Chronic high blood sugar creates these unstable molecules called reactive oxygen species, or ROS, which damage everything from your DNA to your blood vessels. This damage is systemic, hitting your kidneys, nerves, and heart. But here's the cool part. H3O2 BioWater has a negative charge. It acts like a tiny shield, neutralizing those damaging free radicals. This can really cut down on the oxidative stress that causes so many problems in diabetes. Now, let's check out what the actual science says about BioWater and blood sugar. We've seen how oxidative stress can be a real problem. Now, let's dive into some solid science that shows how BioWater can help. Multiple studies, not just one, are showing consistent results. For example, in one study, diabetic rats drinking structured water for 8 weeks had much lower blood sugar, and their long-term blood sugar marker, HbA1c, also dropped. Plus, their DNA was protected from damage. Another study with people who have type 2 diabetes showed lower blood sugar levels in just 3 months of drinking structured water. These findings are super exciting because they point to a powerful new way to protect against the damage that drives diabetic complications. Next up, we'll see how BioWater actually gets into your cells more efficiently. We've seen the research, so now let's get into how BioWater actually gets into your cells to do its amazing work. Think of aquaporins as the special doors on your cells that only let water in. This discovery even won a Nobel Prize. In diabetes, these doors, especially in your pancreas, often don't work as well. This means your cells can't hydrate properly, and insulin release gets messed up. Regular water is like a messy crowd trying to get through a door, but H3O2 BioWater is super organized. It lines up perfectly and slides right through those aquaporin doors. This means BioWater doesn't just hydrate, it superhydrates your cells, getting water where it's needed faster and more efficiently. This enhanced cellular uptake could be a huge advantage for people with diabetes. Now, let's break down the top ways H3O2 BioWater supports diabetes wellness. We've talked about how BioWater gets into your cells. Now, let's put it all together with 5 awesome ways H3O2 BioWater supports diabetes wellness. First, it helps balance blood sugar by keeping your blood from getting too thick, like syrup. Second, it makes your cells more sensitive to insulin, so they can actually use the sugar. Third, BioWater boosts your cellular energy by supporting your mitochondria, which are like tiny batteries in your cells. Fourth, its negative charge acts like a shield, fighting off that cellular rust we talked about earlier. And fifth, it helps your kidneys flush out toxins, keeping things clean inside. These benefits show that BioWater is a truly multidimensional tool for wellness. Next, we'll reveal how the biophotonic charger creates this incredible H3O2 BioWater. So, we've talked about all the amazing things H3O2 BioWater can do for diabetes wellness. But how do we actually get this super-powered water? Well, the frequency collar and biophotonic charger is like bringing nature's best water-making tricks right into your kitchen. They use special light and frequency energy to turn your regular tap water into cellular medicine. Think of them like a battery charger, but for water. It exposes water to specific light wavelengths, just like sunlight does in nature, to build that awesome hexagonal H3O2 structure. This process also charges the water with negative electrical potential, giving it that battery effect we talked about. So, every glass you drink isn't just water, it's a targeted wellness intervention for your cells. You're not just drinking water, you're drinking water that works. Now, let's look at some real-world impact. We just saw and heard how the frequency collar and biophotonic charger makes this incredible bio-water. Now let's talk about what happens when real people start drinking it. The promise of biowater is becoming clearer, with emerging evidence pointing to its powerful role in diabetes management. We believe transforming water can bring profound health benefits to people, animals, and plants all around the world in the most simplistic way possible. Studies are showing measurable reductions in fasting blood glucose and even those long-term HbA1c numbers. People are reporting reduced DNA damage and improved antioxidant activity, which is huge for fighting complications. This isn't a magic bullet or a replacement for your doctor's advice, but it's a powerful, natural complement for the millions living with diabetes. The simplest interventions often have the most profound impacts. But how does nature make this water in the first place? We've seen the real-world promise of biowater. Now let's peek behind the curtain and see how nature has always known how to make H3O2 biowater. We're simply learning to replicate those natural processes. Think about those pristine mountain springs or glacier melt. They're not just regular water. Nature uses sunlight exposure, allowing near-infrared light to build that EZ structure. It also uses vortexing, like water swirling in a stream, to create turbulence and structure. Plus, when water flows over natural minerals, it gets charged up and organized. Even gentle infrared heat, like from the Earth, helps build this vital structure. The frequency collar and biophotonic charger basically combines and optimizes all these natural principles. It brings the vitality of nature's best water sources right into your daily routine, so you can consistently access structured, energized water. Next, we'll talk about how to actually use this amazing water every day. So we've talked about how nature makes H3O2 biowater, and now let's get practical. How do you actually use this stuff every day? It's super simple, and consistency is key. Think of it like charging your phone battery. You gotta do it regularly. Starting your day with biowater is like giving your body a big, refreshing wake-up call. It helps fight off that morning blood sugar spike, kind of like how a good breakfast gets your brain going. Then, a glass before meals helps your body get ready for food, preventing those blood sugar roller coasters. And if you're active, biowater keeps your muscles happy and helps balance your energy. A final glass before bed helps your body repair itself overnight. This isn't just about drinking water, it's about drinking smart. This simple routine makes every sip count. Now let's look at the bigger picture of why this matters so much. Moving from the daily protocol, let's zoom out to the bigger picture. The story of H3O2 biowater is really about reconnecting with our body's innate wisdom. Every cell in your body was designed to thrive on structured, energized EZ water, but our modern lives often deplete this vital resource. This depletion is especially pronounced for those living with diabetes. Biowater embodies a powerful belief that the most profound health solutions are often the most natural and simple ones. We believe in transforming health from the inside out, one glass at a time, with a simple switch to biowater. Diabetes is complex, requiring a multifaceted approach. But at the very foundation of all those efforts is water. Not just any water, but water that is structured, energized, and perfectly aligned with your body's cellular architecture. This is about more than just hydration. It's about providing the fundamental building blocks for cellular health. Biowater hydrates at the cellular level, energizes your bioelectric systems, and protects against oxidative damage. It supports every organ system involved in diabetes management, making it an accessible, natural, and truly foundational tool. This brings us to our final thoughts and a call to action. The science is clear. H3O2 biowater is a powerful addition to the diabetes wellness arsenal. The research from Dr. Pollack, combined with clinical studies and the established science of hydration, paints a compelling picture. Biowater isn't a miracle cure, but it's a scientifically sound, biologically logical, an incredibly accessible tool that addresses diabetes at its most fundamental level, the cell. For the nearly 600 million people living with diabetes today, and the hundreds of millions more at risk, the message is undeniable. Hydration matters, and the quality of that hydration matters even more. The frequency collar and biophotonic charger makes this transformative H3O2 BioWater accessible to everyone. It turns the simple act of drinking water into a targeted cellular wellness practice. So, what are your next steps? We encourage you to learn more about the biophotonic charger and how it creates H3O2 BioWater. Consult with your healthcare provider about integrating BioWater into your diabetes management plan. Share this vital information with someone you know who is living with diabetes or prediabetes. And most importantly, experience the difference that structured, energized water can make in your daily cellular wellness. Remember, every great journey begins with a single step, and for your health, that step may be as simple as the water you choose to drink.